Hey everyone, it's Friendless here, and today we're going to be going over a quick progression guide, or really just a couple of tips to kind of help people start progressing through the game faster. So I want to talk about what the first, goal you want to complete in this game when you first start out. It's kind of something you want to progress towards is a quest. Basically, you go to quest, fight, quick level, and this first quest here. This is one of the first quests you want to complete, you want to achieve as soon as possible because you get a pretty good reward. The conditions for it is you gotta complete Blackpool Hill Stage 1 on normal with only one hero without assistance from a friend. So basically you just have to use one of your units to try and complete this by himself with no help. And the reward is a 6-piece set of the attack set at 5 stars and purple quality. That's huge. That's going to give you a huge progression bump. So that's one of the first things you want to try and achieve. You won't be able to do it right away, but you want to start working towards that. And after you complete that, the second quest in this quick level thing is also another thing you want to try and get after you complete that as well, because you get an XP boost. Now, XP boost is great because at the beginning levels, you want to level your units as soon as possible. You want to get as much levels on all your units to create 6 stars and also just increase their unit strength. The condition is pretty much the same as the first one, except now you have to basically do it on auto, and you want to place with 4 level 1 heroes. So pretty much put 4 level 1 fodder, something that you want to use as fodder, and have that one unit you completed stage 1 with, and just put them in there. Alright, now I want to talk about kind of the places you want to farm in scenarios. Now there's 3 places. It's Ancient Forest, Earl Plains, and Blackpool Hills. Now these 3 places are probably the places you're going to be spending most of your time in at the beginning. The reason why we want to farm Ancient Forest is because you can get Holy Cleric drops, which can help you skill up your Holy Cleric that you get from the beginning, and she's a great unit to help early progression. She has a bunch of heals, and this can help skill her up, and also the game gives you enough material to evolve her. And Ancient Force and Hell mode is pretty easy to farm. It's pretty easy. The enemies aren't that tough, and so you can get 5-star runes. And that's pretty much what you're aiming for. You want to get a full set of 5-star runes at the beginning from these maps. And Blessing runes isn't a bad set for early progression because for every 2 set you get a 15% increase, and that's just straight raw stats. So that's helped with early game progression with a bunch of the stat checks in the game. Now the second place we spoke about is Earl Plains. The reason why we want to farm that is for Agile set. Agile set is one of the better runes to use for your support early on because at a 4-piece set you get speed plus 25%. What speed does is it determines who gets to go first and how fast your energy fills up, which in turn means how often you can go. So if your monsters are fast enough, not only do you go first, you can go maybe twice before the enemy gets to go. And so we're going to be farming Hell on this stage, trying to get 5-star rune of the Agile set. Now the next scenario we're going to be spending a lot of time on is Blackpool Hills for several reasons. One being that for Windwalker. Windwalker is a great unit to use. She is a great support. You can use her later on for Colossus. She has a AoE energy increase, which pretty much speeds up your whole team, and it gives them a speed buff. And the second skill that we're most likely to be using is the heal, and also grants 100% energy to an ally. That pretty much makes them go first. Not first, but makes them instantly go right after she gives them this skill. And she also has a chance to slow enemy for 2 turns on her basic attack, which is helpful for Colossus. And this is one of the easier stages to farm in Hell once you get a XP buff. So you're pretty much going to be spending a lot of time in Blackpool Hills, Earl Plains, and Ancient Forest. Alright, now kind of want to talk about the units that we can use for early game progression. I won't really be talking about the 5 stars or 4-star units because they're pretty specific to get. So another quick hint is basically whenever you get a new unit, you can go into your archives and collect rewards. This will help you with evolution, which is a pretty nice addition to the game. The first unit is Windwalker. I think we discussed this earlier. It's farmed through Blackpool Hills with that increased energy and haste. Basically your whole team can just cycle through faster than the enemy, and it also has a heal, which is okay, and then 100% energy and the slow, which is nice. And we talked about Holy Cleric as well. It's pretty helpful to clear early progression, and also can be used for Colossus, though she'll probably be replaced later on. But she's still a great unit to begin using. Now, I guess we'll talk about the 4 stars, but if you're able to get a Druid, Druid is a great unit to use for early game content, and honestly, and for Colossus. It's a chance to dispel, and the skill we'll be going for here is this third skill, Thorn Guardian. Increase defense for 2 turns and a counter, and go down to 4 turns. So we're mainly going to use him for the defense buff. The counter is kind of hard to get because it's only 1 turn, but if you do get it off, it's nice. And he has a pretty good heal, an AoE heal with a 15% regen following 2 turns. So everyone gets a flat heal of 20%, and then you get a regen for 2 turns. He also has basically a cleanse, cleanse all the negative effects and grant immunity and 30% energy. So he has a lot of his kit has a lot of things going for him in just 1 unit, so he's a great unit to use. I also want to talk about Una. Una, in my opinion, has potential for use. Heal lock on the first skill, and she has attack break. Attack break is actually kind of hard to get in this game on units that have multiple uses. What I mean by that is, so in this unit, she has attack break, she has HP regen lock, and she has increased allies attack and defense all in 1 unit. Now you're gonna find a lot of other units that can attack break, but that's all they can do. So this is a great unit because it has so many things going for her in 1 unit. She also has an AoE dispel. So she is a great unit to try and look into if you're trying to create a Colossus team. Now, Mummy. Mummy is a great unit to help with starting a Colossus team. Colossus, when you start pushing higher up, it's gonna be hard to try and do direct damage to defeat the boss because you just don't have the room for it. So what the first strategy we want to do is pretty much use damage over time to try and take down the boss. Now, the Mummy has on the first skill to poison, and poison is pretty much the DOT, the damage over time. That'll do 5% of their HP for each stack on the boss, and it ignores defense. So first skill can go up to 100%, and then you have another skill that can also land 2 or 3 poison stacks, but there's a lower chance. And then you have an AoE poison, which is nice for clearing the trash stages in Colossus stage. So you can also, you're not going to use this one, you can also use Power of Death to increase his hit percent by 75, which hit is just increase your accuracy of landing buffs against the resistance check. So, but most likely you're going to be using Bandage Stand. So Mummy is a great unit to start using to try and start building a Colossus team. Now you might not need to use him if you have a Medusa or or a Popo. Those are 5 stars. So if you don't have those, Mummy is a great unit to start using. Harpy is the next unit I want to talk about. Harpy is a great unit because of her third skill, Reduce all ally cooldowns by 1 turn and grant them haste for 1 turn. This skill cannot reduce its own cooldown. So there's actually an error in what it says. When you use this skill, you actually get haste for 2 turns. So it's a nice. This is nice because at the beginning, when all your units aren't skilled up, by reducing the cooldown, you can kind of make things kind of run more smoothly. So this is the great unit to start using as well. She also has a heal on this skill, Siren Guard. Restore HP 50% to all ally and increase their crit res by 2 turns. And she has a bleed. So it's a great unit you put into Colossus. Now her stats are pretty low, so you might need to 6-star her for B8 or B9, but she's a great unit to start using. So now I want to talk about how to rune your units at the beginning. At the beginning, you pretty much want to stack raw stats. What that means is basically your base stats, like your HP, attack, defense, speed. You want to increase these base stats because a lot of the content of the game does a stat check, which pretty much see how strong your unit is and make sure you have a certain threshold of stats in order to complete them. So what I recommend as the rune set to use for most of your unit is the Agile set. Agile set gives, like I said earlier, it's a speed. You want to rune pretty much most of your support with 4-piece speed, and so 4-piece Agile and 2-piece blessing. This gives you raw stats. It gives you speed and it gives you HP. So let's talk about runes. So the first slot 1 is always, the main stat is always going to be flat attack. Slot 3 is always going to be flat defense. Slot 5 is always going to be flat HP as main stat. Those are set. You can't get anything else in that set. Now slot 2, you can get a couple of stats. One of them is speed. Speed is unique to slot 2. You can get speed, you can get HP percent, and you can get defense percent, and you can get attack percent. So those are the things you can get on slot 2. On slot 4, you can get HP percent, defense percent, crit rate, and crit damage. Crit damage and crit rate are unique to slot 4. And for slot 6, you can get hit percent, resistance, attack percent, HP percent, and defense percent. Hit and resistance are unique to slot 6. One thing you want to do every day is arena. Do your arena. At least you want to farm up 180 arena points every week because of this. You can buy skill cats from the arena shop every single week, so farm at least 180 arena points to buy the skill cat every single week. Don't feed your 4-stars, your natural 4-star, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. They may buff a unit, and you'll never know what new fusion is going to come out. Right now, the only fusion is Necromancer, but they're going to come out with new fusion monster that you can use to try and make. So don't feed your 4-star, just keep them in storage. Unless you have multiples of one, then you can use the other ones, I guess, if you want to. Now, don't upgrade your runes too much. The most I will upgrade a 5-star rune is +9, maybe 12. I only +12 my runes to complete the achievement under your starter perks, your growth pain quest. Once you get to that point, that's the only time I +12 my runes because it's just not worth the amount of mana you're going to be sinking into them. So 5-star runes, the max is +9 to +12. 4-star runes, most is +6. And anything below, I wouldn't even bother using. Honestly, I wouldn't even bother using 4-star runes until you can use 4-star runes to try and complete the scenarios, but I wouldn't upgrade them past +6. Alright, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything I left out, any hints that you think can help other players progress through the game. and also what you'd like to see in the next video. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.